Good morning, everybody. How are you guys this morning? I'm really excited this morning because I want to tell you a real cool story. But before I start, have you ever, had the feeling that there was something strange around the room? Or have you ever had the feeling that there was something watching you? Or like a bug crawling on you? I've had that feeling before. In fact, I'm having that feeling now. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure. Do you know what it is? Wait a minute. Don't tell me. Is there something crawling on my face right now? What is it? Is it a spider? I don't like spiders. I hate spiders. Is it maybe a fly? Flies are annoying, but they're not too bad. I wonder if I should have a look. Ah. Do you know what that is? That's a praying mantis. Now, since we've started our lockdown, Lexi and Micah have really been struggling with missing their friends. So instead, they've come across a new bunch of friends. And over here, on my face, is one of their friends. And this is one of their praying mantises. Now, forget its name. They've had lots of... that's right. This one's called Rainbow. And the reason why it's called Rainbow, let me see if I can get it off my ear. Took them a long time to allow the praying mantises to crawl on them. But the reason why it's called Rainbow, and you probably can't see it very clearly because of the colour, but it's got some pink underneath its body. And it's also got these bright, bright yellow wings. And so that's why Lexi's decided to call this praying mantis Rainbow. Hello, Rainbow. Now, while I've been watching the kids playing with these praying mantises, I've been fascinated, and I've been learning a little bit about praying mantises too. And did you know, and I actually saw this for the first time the other day, I dropped the praying mantis. And like a cat, have you ever seen what happens when you drop a cat? Do you know what happens when you drop a cat? A cat can land, no matter how high it is, it can turn its body around and it can land on its feet. And apparently the same happens with praying mantises. If you drop them, they land on their feet. Isn't that cool? Look at him, he's looking at me. He's kind of moving his head. The other cool thing about them is they can swim. We happened to put it in a water table of Levi's and we watched him swim across it. And it was fascinating seeing this little fella swimming across the water. And another cool thing that the kids have loved about a praying mantis is that they lay these cases. And inside the cases, when they hatch, can be up to 200 little baby praying mantises. So I've got a funny feeling that even though Lexi and Micah are missing their friends, they're going to have no trouble coming across little praying mantises to play with. But they might run out of names if they're having to name up to 200 praying mantises. But isn't he cool? Isn't he a cute little fella? Have you ever wondered why? Why do they call it a praying mantis? Now these creatures are very, very scary if you were a bug. Because they prey on other animals. It's even known that praying mantises eat frogs and even birds. Isn't it incredible that something this small can eat a bird? Kind of reminds me of a story in the Bible of somebody who was really, really small but took on somebody really, really large. Do you know that story? Do you know who I'm thinking of? Yeah. I'm going to call this fella, if it was up to me, I'd call him David. and anything he comes across like a bird would be Goliath. But the other reason why they call him a praying mantis is because of his posture. He always looks like he's praying. He kind of holds his hands up like this, and he seems to be praying. When he's just in a relaxed position, he's crawling all over. I can't even get him to the camera. And it got me thinking of another story in the Bible. Do you have a story where somebody spent a lot of time praying? At a time when he lived in a foreign land, he would open the windows of his apartment every morning, and he'd go out and he'd face Jerusalem, where he came from, and he would pray. Yeah, that was Daniel. And it was his praying and the time he spent praying that actually got him into trouble. But something that I like about that story and the story of David is, regardless of what people were expecting or telling them, they didn't give up hope. They didn't give up their faith. And when I look at the praying mantis and I see it spending a lot of time in a praying position, it reminds me how important it is to pray and to spend time talking to God. So have a look around your house, see what critters you can find. And hopefully you can find one of these, because they're actually real cool for pets. I love how I can sit here and he can just watch me and likes crawling all over me. And it's fascinating watching them. But also, when you can't have your friends around, these little fellas can be really good mates. So have a look around, see what you can find, and always remember, no matter what we're faced, no matter what we're doing, we can always go to God and we can pray to Him. Like the posture of the praying mantis, we can have that posture and we can talk to God. We can ask God and we can go to God with any challenges or any struggles that we have, and we know that He will always hear us. He might not always answer the prayer the way that we want it answered, but He will always answer and He will always be listening. So I hope you're keeping well in lockdown. We might find out some news soon about what the next phase of lockdown will be, but I'm really looking forward to the day where we can all come together again and we can worship together and we can sing together and we can share stories and talk about the cool things we did in lockdown. Anyway, you look after yourselves. God bless.